You know, I'm Challenger, I have no life, and I'm Asian, so I probably can get rank 1. Last time on Dragon Balls in my mouth, we were at 482 LP. But today, we're going to be running down at least 8 games, because to be honest, we're a little behind, and we gotta get to the very interesting games. So in this game, Olaf, I know he has the all-in potential with his stupid axes, but I still fall for it, and I basically suck ass in lane. What could I have done better? Honestly, play like a bitch and play back, and that's what I'm probably gonna do for future games with Olaf. Anyways, I get shit on, we don't win the game, sadly. Alright, so for this part, I had to redo the commentary because it was just basically me ranting about some YouTube comments, but I removed it because I don't want, new people seeing me in a bad light. But basically, it was just a huge rant about some comments that were pissing me off, but I think I'm going to leave that for another video on its own, and we're just going to talk about these games. But this Kindred game, it was actually my first game of the day, and yeah, it was just, I was just not thinking that game. I think usually the best games for me to start off with on a day are off-roll games because that way I can get into the mood of solo queue and just get into the zone. And yeah, it's basically a warm-up game to get into the vibe. So maybe I might play a normal before I play a ranked, but usually when I play normals I face gold and platinum players, so I'm not sure if it'll help, but I definitely will try it once. Now you're probably watching this clip and be like, what the fuck is happening? And so basically no one wants to engage because if they get caught out, they'll probably die from Science CC, TFCC, and Sivir's damage. And you can see my whole team is squishy and doesn't really want to walk in, while the enemy team, they don't have any flash. But I saw Corki go in, and then I see an opportunity to kill someone, but I immediately want to get the hell out of there because I don't want to die. But right here, Anivia cuts through her spell shield with the second part of her Q, which I didn't know was possible, and gets a nice kill for us. But what you just witnessed is probably the most stupidest thing you'll ever see in League of Legends. But anyways, in the early game, I think my bot wasn't doing so hot, and I'm not sure what I could have done better, but all I'm trying to do right now is get some picks to get us back into the game. But I'm getting decently fed, and Kha'Zix is a champion who can actually carry, since he's a reset assassin and can definitely make some picks around the map. Later on in this game, the enemy starts to do a Baron, and then Corki does this. Don't really think that was the best idea, but right here I probably should have jumped in and gone for the steal, but I didn't realize that Skarner was gone, and I'm just waiting until the enemy starts getting the Baron low so I can jump in for the steal. But I'm actually tunnel visioning super hard on the Baron's health, and I'm not sure what the hell is going on around me, and so these are one of those high pressure moments where I'm not familiar with, and I was just super confused on what I should be doing. Anyways, I start to go into team fight, but it's not looking too hot for me, so I gotta flash out. But if they get this Baron, they're probably gonna win. So I stick around to see if I can get a steal on it, but honestly the enemy is just zoning me too hard and I cannot get close to it. And that's kind of the play that lost us the game. There were so many mistakes that me and my teammates made, and if we played that situation better, things may have gone differently in this game. But yeah, we lose this one, we lose about 18 LP, and we're at 432 LP. Next game, I'm playing Kindred, and I'm going pretty off in the early game, I'm getting a lot of kills. I'm getting a lot of marks. That's what Kindred likes to do, is snowball. But then, things happen. First of all, throw number 1, although I did it because I wanted that mark. But throw number 1 happens and I give the enemy a little advantage off my kill bounty. Throw number 2 happens, but I do it for the mark, and it's kind of worth, because Sindri gets an assist, I get my mark, and the enemy only gets same amount of money as we did, but we also get a mark, and we're also behind, so it's actually kind of worth. Then throw number 3 happens, well, technically 2, but yeah, I don't know what I was thinking here. I think I was thinking I think I can get a kill, but there's a possibility of being hooked, and also it's a 1v4. Finally, we're at a team fight where, I don't really like how it goes. Because Syndra at the beginning flashes and actually gets hooked and destroyed. I actually don't know why she did that. She was just going for a pick, but she probably would have died right after. And I'm right here with my ultimate, but my team is so scared for some reason. I have a GA, but finally Kennen does come in for the cleanup, which is kind of nice. But my GA does pop, so that kind of sucks. And the Relia fucks up because she goes back in, but then my team kind of gets picked off by Kha'Zix and Anivia. And it doesn't end here, but the way this teamfight was supposed to be won was if Kennen came from the side of the jungle, flashed in and got a really nice ultimate, and me and Sindra would have followed up on that and probably got a nice clean ace. Sadly, the teamfight didn't really go our way, and not as planned in my head, but yeah, that was definitely one of the big points where we could have turned around the game and gotten ourselves a lead, but we're somewhat fortunate to go 4 for 5. Anyways, look at the map right now. You see how we're all heading the dragon, and all of a sudden, all of the enemies actually disappear and start heading somewhere. That's right. Somehow they knew we were all at Dragon because they probably had wards, and I assume right now it's gone because we fucked up big time and relied on a ward that was deep in their jungle. I think one of the reasons why our support wasn't around the Baron area and warded it was because she may have thought the mark on the map was a ward, which kind of does look like a ward and makes the map, you know, a little bit brighter. But yeah, we just fucked up big time on the macro, and honestly, that rotation we did was what cost us the game. Like, the enemy was smart enough to realize we weren't in a position to contest the Baron, and they could do it fast enough before we got there, so yeah, we fucked up big time. Once I realized they were at Baron, it was actually too late, and yeah, we lose 19 LP. Well, that kind of sucks. But, you know, I love playing Hecarim. I love getting my free wins. I like doing well on him and being some stupid horse that runs around the map and kills people. And I do like getting my LP back. Spoiler alert for the next jungler tier list, Hecarim is going to be in the top 5. But you know who's not going to be in the top 5? Kindred. Actually I'm not sure about this one, but the nurse on her seemed quite big. Anyways, so we actually invade the enemy jungle and we're trying to get a pick. We do get a little chunk on Yasuo, but he does get away. And we take the Olaf's blue because an Olaf without his blue is not too strong. And what I do is right after their blue, I actually walk to my blue because I know he's going to go there. And we can probably contest it because it's my side of the jungle. Now, I'm not sure if this was the right move to do, to be honest, but it does work out for us in the end. But it was such a long walk away that I probably could have been doing another camp. And now I'm thinking about ganking bot lane. Is this a good idea? Well, if I knew the Vayne would walk forwards again, I think it would have been a good choice. But then, I try and get as much harass as I can on her, and I'm actually set up for a good counter gank from the enemy jungle. And honestly, it was a big mistake by me because I knew my bottom lane summoners were down like the heal, so it definitely was a risky play. And honestly, I shouldn't have done this because my bottom lane is a weak lane because our AD carry isn't an AD carry main, he's like a top lane main. And so I fuck up here really badly, and this is where I never return to this lane and try and concentrate on other lanes. It kind of works, but this Yasuo just honestly gets gangbanged, and now I'm kind of back in the game. But then this team fight happens, and it looks good from our perspective, like it's a 4v2. Then the Vayne pulls some Vayne mechanics by flashing away and dodging my cocoon, so we don't end up getting her, and I feel like I have to repel because I feel like I'm gonna die soon. And right here, me, Undead Scion, and Bard are just trying to get some kills if we can, but it sucks because everyone's kind of out of range, and honestly, this game is not really looking too hot. I thought this game was gonna be kind of hard, but then this happens. Yeah, and that's how I got 17 LP. But on the next game, we'll be playing against Bjergsen, and I'll be playing mid lane, and I am very sad. Oh yeah, and we'll be playing with Box, and I just feel like I was on the wrong team for this game, and I'm very, very scared and pressured. Like every time I face an LCS mid laner or whatever, when I'm playing mid, it pressures me that I'm just gonna get shit on. Like, hey, I play mid lane for fun in Ermos, not in ranked. And we all know that mid laners are the ones with the most skill. Why do you think Faker and Bjergsen are always a highlight of the pro scene? Because they're known for being the mechanical players along with AD carries, while there's us tanks who just do whatever. Anyways, my goal is to stop Bjergsen from doing whatever he wants. This matchup is actually good for Malzahar, I think, but I'm going to be holding on to my teleport for the majority of the game until I see TF ports, so I can follow and back up my team. And right here, I know there's a lot of action coming in the bot lane, so I know he wants to come to the bot lane, and all I'm doing right now is just trying to foil his plans. Am I trying to win against him in lane? No, that's not likely going to happen. All I'm going to do is try and farm, help my teammates, and get carried. Also, you're probably wondering, what is the CS between me and him? It's not that bad, but I think it's a winning matchup for me, so I should be ahead. Because I'm not really sure since I don't play mid lane and I don't know the matchups. I just know how to play Malzahar because of a bunch of PvE games, and also since he has a high win rate for the mid lane, I just thought it'd be a good idea to pick him up and bring him to high elo. Anyways, again, just following Bjergsen and going wherever he goes, and I just stop him from going on Morg, but I don't know if this was the right idea, because I don't think he would have killed her, so I feel like I should have held on to my R a little bit more, but I think the pressure is getting to me, and him just being the mid laner is making me do weird things. Anyways, I actually got caught out in that bot lane a little bit later, but I see some action happening top lane, so I'm trying to roam to help my teammates to see if I can assist them. Unfortunately, I am rather very late, and they eventually do get the Riven, and she dies. So, you know, I'm just like, oh shit, I should probably get the fuck out of here. And then they actually do catch me out, and I'm actually in a really sticky situation. I flash away because I know Morgana is coming, so I think she can rescue me with like a black shield, but unfortunately the enemy team just has too much damage, and Bjergsen is actually getting really fed. And yeah, he's just ulting all over the place and getting kills around the map. But despite going a little even in the early game and kind of preventing him from, you know, using his ultimate, I just couldn't stop him from going around the map. And I feel like if I played more aggressive maybe in the early game and tried to zone him out, I may have stopped all this chaos happening on the map. But my playstyle with Malzahar is sort of passive and just concentrating on creeps and just waiting until my jungler comes to me. And I don't know if this is the right way to play Malzahar, but I don't really play mid lane, so I don't really know. Anyways, team fight happened in bot lane, we come out on top, and we're back in the game. Right here, I'm coming top lane to help kill this Tryndamere, but I think our Kha'Zix DC'd or something. So I was just super confused, and now it's my turn to try and kill this Tryndamere. Luckily, I can kite him since I do have Riley's Crystal Scepter, and you know, I know that Malzahar is a really good champion against melee champs, since he can constantly put down the Riley's Crystal Scepter slow. And right here, Bjergsen actually teleports behind us because we're all kind of low on hit point, so he feels he can get a pick. And now I just go into Blitzcrank because I feel like he's a big threat to me, but I tunnel vision so hard I get hit by the wild cards. But honestly, probably still would have died. And this Jhin is just carrying us in this game. He's like got a lot of kills right now. So my job, since I have a lot of utility with Riley's Crystal Scepter, is going to be to just peel for him, you know, so use my ultimate on whoever's on him, use all my spells on whoever gets near him, and just basically be his white knight. Now right here, I don't really want to engage because I don't know where every enemy is, but then Zac comes right back into me, and I see an opportunity to, well, kill him, but I get pulled, and at this point, I just want to use all my spells before I die. Anyways, a complete ace happens, and since we have a Kha'Zix on the team, it is definitely really easy for us to do the Baron, and all the enemies are dead and there's no teleports coming soon. But Riven's GA pops and Kha'Zix dies, so apparently it was really hard to do. Anyways, only Riven and Morgana have the Baron buff, but unfortunately I do get caught out since the enemy was setting up some ambush, so I just take it like a bitch and I don't flash. And what ends up happening is we don't do shit with the Baron, and nothing really happens, but this team fight happens, and ooh, Morgana gets a nice Q on the Ezreal. But I probably should not have ulted him and just saved my ult for someone else, but that was honestly a bad play that I realized while making it, and all I wanted was the kill to be secured. And then all I just want to do is kill his Blitzcrank, make sure he dies. I actually keep going in because I wanted to kill Twisted Fate as well. But Zac does pound me and I die. But luckily our team gets a nice clean ace onto the enemy team. Later on, another team fight breaks out and I see a lot of things are happening right here. But remember what I said earlier? Our Jhin is super fed, so I must protect him. And also, if I didn't protect him right here, we probably would have lost this team fight. So like the ultimate on Ezreal was probably crucial as the Jhin was exhausted, and I think I did a good job, so I pat myself on the back mentally, and yeah, basically win the team fight, and we also get the Baron as a reward. Next up is going to be another team fight in the jungle after we got a pick on Zac, but our Jhin actually gets in range of a Twisted Fate gold card, and essentially Tryndamere goes on him after, so I try to CC him immediately before he can do work, but he's already done work. And now I gotta switch onto this Ezreal. Now if I got the silence on him, I probably would have saved Riven from dying, but unfortunately he does flash out of the way, and now it's just me and Kha'Zix up. So what we do is he takes the Elder Dragon, and I try to take down mid lane. And I only get Blitzcrank and a tower. Now we have Elder Dragon, and I see my team is fighting, so I could walk there and save my TP, but the thing is, I think this is going to be like the last team fight of the game, so I just all in and try and get as much kills as I can, and just be there for my team so they don't lose the team fight at the beginning. And it's like 38 minutes with an open inhibitor, so winning this team fight honestly means winning the game, and that's exactly what we do. So yeah, in this game, we get carried by the Jhin in the early game, and then we just had a stronger team fight in the mid game and late game. Anyways, shit, this video is pretty long, didn't really intend it, so we're gonna cut it here, and we end up at 449 LP, which is gonna be rank 166, but on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, we'll be playing with Diamond Prox, someone I've not really seen before, like in solo queue, but now I finally get to see him, and you know, I just have a little opinion on him, but I'll also be playing Malzahar in the top lane because I panicked and then I picked him, So yeah, so we'll see how that game goes. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I am Panzer Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.